Hi YouTube. My name is Alex, but you'll know me as whatever I decide to name this channel after I'm done filming this video. So today I want to start a series basically going over sort of a brief, very brief history of all the world's religions and sort of what they believe in. It's also important to point out that I am not a professional. I do this as a hobby, and some inaccuracies may be present in this video. So if you see any, feel free to comment down in the comments below. So today I'm going to start off with the Abrahamic religions, which most of you will know as Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. These are just because these are the most populous religions in the world, and I think they'd be a great start. But before I go into that, I kind of want to go into a little bit of a history lesson on where these religions actually come from. And so for that, we need to go all the way back to ancient Mesopotamia. Now, Mesopotamia, for those of you who don't know, is a location between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in what is now modern day Iraq. What did these people actually believe? Well, the ancient Mesopotamians had a very, very vast religious tradition, which kind of encompasses a lot of various different beliefs. And to simplify it in the video, I'm going to kind of put them into one ancient Mesopotamian religion, although throughout the entire history, it's well known that all these different city-states and all these different areas within ancient Mesopotamia had their own sort of patron deities or their own mythologies that they would follow. So although it's a gross oversimplification, I may glance over a little bit of ancient Mesopotamian history just because I think that actually warrants its own video, and also that I'm trying to keep this as brief as possible. In ancient Mesopotamia, they believed in multiple gods, also known as polytheism. Specifically, though, each city-state or area had its own patron deity that they worshipped seemingly above others, or at least more than others. Now, this idea can also be known as henotheism, which is the worship of one god above others while still accepting the belief that others exist. The most ancient mythology that we know of comes from Sumeria, which is the oldest known civilization humanity has ever discovered. In Sumeria, they worshipped many gods, a lot of them known as the Anunnaki, or the children of Anu, the creator deity. While Sumeria worshipped other gods, the god they saw most supreme was the god known as Enlil. Enlil was known to have created humanity to provide workers for the gods. Enlil had a brother named Enki, which the story between them can also be related directly to the story of the Garden of Eden in the Old Testament. It is important to note, however, that while Enlil played the part of God in this story of the Garden of Eden, Enki played that of the snake. However, in ancient Sumeria, neither of these gods were seen as bad. In fact, Enki was known sort of as a freedom fighter for humanity, as he granted them knowledge and allowed them to end their slavery to Enlil. After this, Enlil accepted it, however, he was not happy about doing so. Later on in this mythology, humanity's population had increased too much, and they were causing too much noise, which was disturbing the gods. Due to this, Enlil decided to destroy humanity in a great flood. Before this flood occurred, however, Enki warned a man that this was occurring, and allowed him to build a vessel in which to escape. Now, many of you will know this story as Noah and the Flood, which was passed down throughout this history and made it all the way into the Old Testament. Although this is again an oversimplification of ancient Mesopotamian history, the city-states around this area used to war with each other for dominance and would sort of make other people worship their gods above others when they were successful. It's at this point that we start to move from the ancient Mesopotamian religion into Proto-Judaism. Proto-Judaism encompasses this large time period between the sort of end of the Canaanite religion and the beginning of what we would now know as commonly Judaism. Now, out of the Canaanite religion, with a little bit of influence from Babylonian religion, came the Israelite religion. The ancient Israelites had chosen Yahweh as their prime god of worship. However, instead of taking a henotheistic concept like we would see in older Mesopotamian religion, the ancient Israelites decided to go with a form called monolatrism. Monolatry is very similar to henotheism, however the difference comes in how they view the head god. In henotheistic thought, while they may hold a god higher than others, it was not reprehensible for others to hold a god above their current god. As such, in henotheism, a lot of the times it is accepted that other people may view one god as superior to the other. However, when we move on to the monolatristic view, we see that there is a certain supremacy that they view this god as having. Eventually we'll see Yahwism torn into Judaism with the teachings of the man named Abraham, as well as the introduction of the Torah, or what most people would know as the Old Testament. Abraham was the Hebrew prophet and patriarch of what would become Judaism. Jewish tradition claims that Abraham fathered, through Isaac, the 12 tribes of Israel. In Islamic tradition, Abraham is also known as fathering the 12 tribes of Ishmael through his son, Ishmael. It's here that we get the term Abrahamic religion, as Abraham was the forefather of Judaism, and therefore also Christianity and Islam. In Jewish tradition, God is one and cares for mankind. God shows his care to Abraham by blessing his descendants, the Hebrew people, as long as they are to follow the commandments of God, or mitzvahs. In Genesis 17, one mitzvah is that of ritual circumcision. Abraham goes home after being commanded by God to circumcise himself and his household, and does as such. It's from this story that the Hebrew tradition of circumcision was passed down. Four of the more well-known mitzvot are the Ten Commandments, said to be passed down to Moses by God on Mount Sinai. These 10 Commandments were said to be written on 2 stone tablets by Moses, and can be found in Exodus 22 to 14. These 10 Commandments are as follows. I am the Lord thy God, who brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee a graven image, nor any manner of likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down unto them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and show mercy unto the thousandth generation of them that love me and keep my commandments. Remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor, and do all thy work. But the seventh day is a Sabbath unto the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any manner of work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested on the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day, and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. These 10 Commandments would become one of the most important doctrines followed by Judaism, Christianity, and Islam alike. Since the video has gone so long, I'm going to be putting Christianity and Islam in their own video, but thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like my content, and hopefully I'll be doing another video very soon.